We all have reasons why we love movies, but when a movie has a cluster of great things, meaning that there's more than one variable here that makes this movie good, you know you have something special. And in the case of Monkey Man, we have so many variables that work, it's just worth talking about and it's worth praising. This movie is not at all perfect, but let me tell you, it has all of these things. It has great acting. It has good dialogue and good writing for storytelling. It has music that is absolutely wonderful and plays along and enhances each scene with each emotional beat that they're trying to pull off. And this is an action movie on top of that, and it's got great action along with comedy. And yet it still has a very beautiful cinema photography. It's so beautiful. It blossoms with beauty and at the same time has a lot of grittiness to it. This movie has it all. Well, stay tuned while I tell you my thoughts about everything about this movie and why you should go see it. So, as you can tell, I like this movie. I like it a lot, but I'm also here to tell you the things that I didn't like. And I know that my intro, I just praised this movie. I put it on such a high pedestal, but I have to kind of clarify what I mean by everything. And I have to say that it's something special, but it also needs some work. Okay, so here's the thing. Dev Patel, he is the star actor in here, and yet he's also the director. He has been in a few movies in the past, and he has always been a very talented actor. There's, second to none. He's really good. The first time I saw him was in The Green Knight, which I highly recommend you see. It is a very interesting story and well acted. And again, the visuals were the same. Now, the thing is I believe this is his first time directing. This is his directorial debut. And for his first film, he knocks this out of the park. This is set out in India, and there is this cultural experience that you're going to have. You're going to have just the music, but you're also going to have some myths and some religious aspects to what they believe in. It's not the overdriving force, and there's no religious message here. It is simply a man who is seeking revenge for the death of his mother, maybe village, and he is out to kill the bad guys. And everything he does is one move that is getting him closer and closer to fighting the final boss, who is his target. Honestly, you're following this journey with this guy and you're not even sure if he's going to live. Obviously, you think he's going to live because he's the hero of the film, but this is one of those films where they don't make it easy for him. You are really legitimately worried for his safety, and he goes through the grind, he goes through the grit, he gets beat up, he gets bloody multiple times. He has to work in multiple jobs, and one of them is a underground mixed martial arts tournaments that he's got to do to make some money. Directing wise, there are a few things here that is so all over the place. It's well shot, it's well framed, and the color and everything looks amazing. Then the next, it's like right into the character's face, and at times it just gets a little distracting. It's what you're focusing on is the fact that you are this close to the character, and sometimes that works in a movie, but when you're overusing it, it just becomes noticeable. The other thing too is the action scenes that involve shaky cam. There are two different styles of filming in this movie alone when it comes to the action scenes, and that sometimes you're going to have this camera that follows the action really well, and if there's something that goes up, your camera goes up, and if it goes down, it goes down, and it's nice in a nice smooth way. Then there's other times where it's like jumbled, the camera's all over the place, and I think that was a bit of an artistic choice for him. I think in this case here, he uses the shaky cam to represent what the character is feeling. So when the character is confused and the action's going fast in his mind, so is the camera. Like, for example, when he's fighting MMA in the ring, He's nervous. It's not going well for him, and the cam is shaky. But then later on, there's an awesome scene in the kitchen where he's fighting a bunch of goons in the kitchen. And at that moment, because it's later on in the film, he is ready and focused. And so is the camera. So I really do think that it is a choice that was made by the director for reasons to express in a way of an expression as opposed to a flaw. But it does get distracting. Now, some of the things that I have to just point out. If you watch any of the trailers or the advertisement for this film, you're going to get the wrong impression. You are going to think that this movie is a lot like John Wick and that there's a lot of action in here. And that is not true at all. The only thing that really shows a John Wick-ism is that in the film, first off, it looks great, like I said, cinematography-wise, but then the few action scenes that you get, there's only a few that have that John Wick style, and that's the fact that like I said, he's focused, and he's in a suit, and he looks great, but he's bloody at the same time. And because he's focused, that camera is focusing with the style, with the fight. Those moments are representative of John Wick, but everything else isn't. This is very much its own thing. Like I said, with all of those elements that I mentioned, it's hard to find a movie that's got all of those things working for it, and this movie does. If I were to give this a rating, I'm going to kind of go with like a 4 out of 5. It's going to be like a movie that I totally recommend. The vibe here is really, really good. This wonderful song is playing, and you just sit in your chair and you're just kind of like reflecting on what you just saw. And that is the mark of a great movie. And in this case, I didn't know how to feel. It was so nice. I just watched this guy pummel the heck out of a couple of people to the point where there's blood everywhere. And yet I felt so comfortable and so at peace. With that said, I hope you get a chance to go see this movie at some point, and I would be very curious to know what your thoughts are. So please leave your comments below and leave a thumbs up. And I thank you very much for watching. And until next time, enjoy life, enjoy film. Take care, and I wish you well.